Hi folks, and welcome back to Meaningful Money. Okay, I'm here at Trevian Cliff, National Trust, bit of coastline, between St Just and St Ives on the northern coast road there. Pretty spectacular spot, again, a bit of a broken record, isn't it this, but keep finding new amazing places to film from. Not a lot else to say about it really, in that it's very pretty and very rugged, like me. Okay, we're going to take a little excursion. We've been talking about personal pensions, and we will go on from next time to talk about company pensions. Need to just take a little time out though to talk about something called auto-enrolment, which is a hot topic in the pensions world right now. Has been actually for 3 or 4 years, but it's a coming phenomenon, something you need to know about. We have a problem in this country and in many Western countries, and that is the problem of demographics. We are getting older as a population. More people are surviving longer, and that's putting strain on the economy, a strain on the welfare state. And the problem is that as well as that, we're not saving enough money for our own golden years. So those two problems combined add up to a pretty serious issue. And the successive governments have wondered about how to fix this major problem. Now, the last government initiated this. It's still in consultation, but the current proposed solution is something called auto-enrolment. Let me tell you what that means. What it means is that if you are A, an employee, B, aged 22 and over, and C, earning about 5.5 grand or more per year, you will very soon be auto-enrolled into a pension. That means you will become a member of a pension scheme without being asked. Now, the idea behind this, of course, is to get over the apathy that most of us feel regarding pensions. It's not something any of us wake up in the morning excited about joining our company pension scheme. But auto-enrolment will get round that, and instead of having to opt in, if you don't want to be a part of the pension, you will have to opt out. So you will be automatically enrolled, but you obviously still have the right to opt out if you don't want to be a member of that pension. So those 3 criteria: you've got to be employed. This is in the company space, really. You've got to be employed, you've got to be aged 22 or over, and got to be earning roughly 5.5 thousand and you will be auto-enrolled into a pension. Now, when is this happening? Well, first of all, it's going to be phased over 5 years. It's starting in 2012, and it will start with big companies first. So if you work for a small company with maybe just a handful of employees, chances are this won't happen to you until 2016, 2017, something like that. But it's going to happen. It's coming. So get ready for it. There is going to be a total contribution limit. Not really a limit, it's going to be a minimum contribution. 8% of your income is going to be paid into a pension for you. Now, of that, at least 3% must be paid by your employer. So that's 3 of the 8. Where's the other 5 coming from, for instance? 4% could be paid by you, and then the extra 1% from the tax relief that I talked about a couple of videos ago, making 8% in total. Now, if an employer opts to pay more into the designated pension scheme, then you will pay slightly less, probably. This is not set in stone yet, but it's quite likely to happen. So 8% total contribution, with a minimum of 3% being paid in by your employer. But that's the level it's going to get to. It's actually going to start lower than that. It's going to be 2% and then 5%, and then will work its way up eventually to 8% by September 2017. Now, along with auto-enrolment is the creation of something called the National Employment Savings Trust. Now, this is like a personal pension devised and run by the government, or a quango really, which will be kind of a default choice. So if your employer doesn't have a pension scheme of their own, or hasn't organised one with an insurance company, they could use this NEST pension as a kind of default option. Now, bizarrely, and perhaps this is a commentary on the state of the way we do things in this country at the moment, the NEST is currently going to be run by Tata, who are an Indian steel firm. quite what they know about running pensions. I have no idea, but they ended up being the only people bidding for it, so they got the contract. So it's going to be a mega cheap and cheerful, cheap as chips pension plan, nationally run, and it's going to be big news because it will be on a national scale. There will doubtless be lots of advertising and PR about it. So when you are auto-enrolled, it will either be in to a pension plan that your employer either puts in place for the purpose or already has in place, or it will be into NEST, this new National Employment Savings Trust. So that's what auto-enrollment's going to be about. It's important because it looks like it's going to happen, and it's going to happen to you sometime between 2012 and 2017, as long as you fit those 3 criteria of being employed, 22 or over, and earning more than $5,500 a year. So it's quite important. It's going to be a good thing, I think. There's bound to be all sorts of downsides to it, but we must do something in this country about the fact that we're not saving enough for our retirement. So this auto-enrolment is one step away from probably what will eventually happen, which is compulsion, which means everybody will be forced to pay into a pension. That's being done in other countries and apparently working quite well. But we're stopping one step short of that and going for auto-enrolment instead. The idea being is that our general apathy about pensions will prevent us from opting out. That's auto-enrolment, and a very brief summary of NEST, the National Employment Savings Trust. Hopefully that's clear. Next time we're going to talk about company pensions, starting with defined benefit or final salary schemes. Thanks for watching, and goodbye from Trevi and Cliff.